Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just me tonight, which means there's no rules. Viewer discretion is highly advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Nightcap, hosted by yours truly, mouthing off with Mike, only on Boom Broadcasting. And yes, indeed, much like the new Intercontinental Champions theme song, Main Event Jey Uso says, it's just me, Uce, tonight on The Nightcap. Fortunately, due to Hurricane Helene, that nasty old girl that hit the coastal regions of the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, I don't have my tag team partner tonight for Main Event Michael Davis, the president of Boom Broadcasting. So it didn't feel right to replace him on Main Event Mike. So I decided, you know what? You're just going to get Main Event Mike tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Logan's here. What's going on, Logan? It's just me tonight. So welcome. It's just me and Logan tonight so far here. Everyone's filing in. You guys know where to check out The Nightcap. And it looks like tonight we're actually streaming live on the Boom Broadcasting's Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg got his shit together. So shout out to Zuck. Wayne came for the chest hair. I'll give you a little sneak preview. There you go. That's all you're going to get. You're going to have to go subscribe to my spicy link in the bio if you want to see more of the the chest hair. Like I said, this is the Nightcap, ladies and gentlemen. There's no rules tonight. I don't have to worry about the Prez finding me. I don't have to worry about him maybe even seeing this right now. I mean, it's unfortunate that, he's got no power and everything, but like, Big Brother's not watching me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I can do whatever I want within reason, of course. Don't worry, not gonna get us arrested here tonight on The Nightcap. That's for damn sure. Logan said, "Damage Control, great promo on Raw." 100%, Logan. I love when they do the pre-tape videos for Damage Control. Throw some captions on. Let them speak Japanese. I can read. I hope everyone can read. This was good stuff, Logan. I think your girls are gonna go on a quest for the gold, for the tag titles. I think they got a lot of people in front of them right now. You got Pure Fusion Collective, or as I've still gonna stick to the stud line. You've got them in the way. You've now got a returning Caden Carter and Katana Chance that are going to be in the way of that. And you've got, of course, the former champs Alba and Isla, the Unholy Union. And you've got the current champs Jade and Bianca. So Damage Control, it's got an uphill battle, but I think Damage Control will be fighting for those tag titles very, very soon, Logan. ZWC said, "What's up? Our true channeling is interim Mr. Garvey tonight." It was so good to see R-Truth back on Monday Night Raw. It was not so good to see that The Miz decided to kick him in the face. Listen, I've been telling you guys for a while now. Karrion Kross, he makes things happen. Look at what's going on with the New Day. Look at what just happened tonight with The Miz. Kross got all up in his head. Miz was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Kicks R-Truth. R-Truth gets left to the Wolves, and the Wolves tonight was the AOP, the Authors of Pain. So poor R-Truth, but The Miz is back. Yes, he is, Logan, the real Miz. I love babyface Miz. I have no problems with him. I'm a Miz guy. All right, you'll come to learn that I've got great respect for The Miz and what he is able to do when it comes to entertaining people. I've always been a Miz fan. I'll always be a Miz fan. Rick said he blames the Wyatt Six for taking Mike's power. Hey, look, it's happened to all of us at one point or another where the Wyatt Six said, you know what? No internet, no power for you. You got to watch out for the Wyatt Six. That's a great segue. Look at me, ladies and gentlemen. The rust has been knocked off since my vacation 2 weeks ago. Last week was a little shaky when it came to my hosting capabilities. I wasn't the best host. But the rust is off, and we got to talk about the Wyatt Six here tonight. We're gonna go a little bit out of order. We're gonna cover the big items on the docket and whatever you guys comment that you want me to talk about. We'll call me Mike Rhodes tonight, I guess, because what do you guys want to talk about from Raw? I want to talk about the Wyatt Six tonight. Do not force our hand. Do not fall victim to the rage. We got another incredible Wyatt Six VHS tape-esque video package with the classic Wyatt Six format. And if you scan the QR code, it brings you back to the original countdown that we saw when they debuted. Now, tonight, it says, do not force our hand. Now, that's all I've been able to decipher from the short time of seeing the QR code and being live here on the Nightcap. The other thing that I noticed here, ladies and gentlemen, was this. At the end of the video was a mysterious face here. And now, I don't recognize this person. I don't know who this could be a doll head. This could be a mannequin. I'm going to be doing an Al Snow impersonation here because I don't know who the hell this is. This isn't Nikki Cross. That's not Alexa. Is that like a combination of both their faces? Is this a new... What could this possibly be? But all I know is it left me curious because who's next? Is it Woods because of the way he's been treating Kofi and his family? Could it be The Miz for turning on R-Truth tonight? I doubt it. We saw the Wyatt Six package prior to the Miz match, so maybe. Could it also be the Judgment Day? They turned their back on their original family. There's a lot of different people that this could be targeted at. It could be targeted at someone we haven't even thought of. Maybe it is towards the Final Testament. I don't think so. I think that's too soon for the two spooky groups to go at it. But I mean, like, what a great feud for October with Halloween coming up, and you don't really have a PLE outside of Halloween Havoc and Bad Blood this weekend. I could be on board for the Final Testament and the Wyatt Six doing something all October. Who do you think they're going to after? Miz or Woods? Rick, great question. I didn't see this comment until just now. I'm on the fence here. It could be the Miz. It could be Woods. I mean, they talked a lot about rage when it comes to like, don't turn to the rage. Like, don't force our hand. Like, it very well could be targeted to Woods because we've seen Woods get way more aggressive. When was the last time you've seen Woods fly off the handle, yell at Kofi the way he yelled at Kofi last week, push him, and then tonight with what we saw with his match with Rey Mysterio, ripping the mask off of Rey Mysterio, and then taking advantage of that to win in a very heelish way that Woods has never done before. Then you look at the match with Kofi and Chad, the inadvertent costing of Kofi of the match. And you saw throughout the whole show, even tonight, at the end of the show, Kofi and Woods were arguing in backstage in like the little room. You could just catch them. You could see Woods talking very passionately through the door when they were doing the interviews with Braun and Bronson before the last Monster Standing. Derek's here. Happy Monday, Raw. He missed Raw, so he's here for the highlight commentary. Derek, I'm just happy that you're okay. I saw the storm damage from Hurricane Helene. Saw that you were going to be without power, so I hope everything's all good. If there's any way I can help or anything, just shoot me a DM. Let me know if I can help out with anything down there with the hurricane, man. Good to see you. I'm glad you're okay. Wyatt Six here. Really good stuff. We haven't seen them in a few weeks since everything with the American Made and everything was paid off. We've only seen some videos, so I think they're going to really wait to have them appear until we are kind of like, okay, we know who they're after. So now we're going to watch to see what happens and if they attack. Rick said he thinks it's going to be Woods. He's into that stuff. Remember his New Day Undertaker Halloween show? I do remember that movie, dude. That was a pretty unique movie back on Netflix. It was like they go through like the Undertaker's like haunted house, and like it was like an interactive movie where you pick different things and different scenarios would tangent here, folks. Absolute sidebar. I love what I saw here tonight. I'm very curious. Tell me who you thought this is. Could this be nothing? Could this be another ominous sign of the Wyatt Six here? Or could this be something that they're alluding to? But let's pivot from the Wyatt Six and let's go ahead and talk about, we're talking a lot. It's just me, Uce, tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, Jey Uso last week on Monday Night Raw won his first singles title in his illustrious career in WWE, defeating that dog. The man's got a dog inside of him like no other. Braun Breaker in a spectacular match. Tonight, a little title celebration. And ladies and gentlemen, I thought my eyes were doing tricks tonight. But oh, baby, does this title look good with just a little touch of blue in it? I do say so myself. You can see my hands. As you know, I am Italian. I talk with my hands. My hands are talking. They're doing the talking because look at this. This right here. This is a straight up beautiful. All it took was just a touch of color. And we got Jey Uso here talking about, Roman did him in dirty. Everyone's done him in dirty. He called his mom, told him that he finally did it. It's just such a cool moment, man. It is a shame that it took him this long to win singles gold, but I am so happy for him. Even Braun Breaker comes out and says, hey, the right man won. The better man won that night, and left it at that. No spears, no nothing. Very different side of Braun Breaker than what we've been seeing over the last couple months with him being on Raw, and that aggressive side we've come to, know and really, really appreciate of him. Good, very interesting development. That would be a perfect for a white strap for the ladies. Rick 8-Bit, say it. Speak it into existence, my good brother. That would look damn good with the white strap. Oh man, I might honestly buy that title if that ever gets made. Probably before I'd buy the black strap version for the men. Calling it back to when Umaga and Rikishi held the old IC belt with the touch of blue. Oh man, can we seriously have a discussion, man? It is so good to see Jey with that title, and it's so good to see that Samoan lineage with that title holds true, man. You could go back through the history book and you could talk about the different Samoans that have held that title. Rikishi, Umaga, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. The list goes on and on and on and on because that title, is really something special in professional wrestling. And of course, it is now tied into the Samoan dynasty now, especially with Jey holding it. So really cool little bit of detail there, Rick. I'm a big fan of the blue. I think this is what this title was missing. I think for months, maybe even since the inception of this title, people have clamored for it to have like a pop of color. Give it a white strap, give it the blue accents. And finally, I guess Triple H was on his burner because we know Triple H, he stays on Twitter. He might be watching the Nightcap right now. You never know. So if you got any good ideas, maybe throw them in the comments. He might say, I'm just kidding. Triple H is not watching this stream. What are we delusional? Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are. I'm in fact very delusional. All jokes aside, great to see this touch of color. Great to see Jey Uso with this championship. And you heard me say it earlier, Rey Mysterio, Xavier Woods. Woods ripped Rey's mask off. And in one of the ultimate forms of disrespect in Lucha Libre, a man that Woods has the utmost respect for pulls that mask off. Karrion Kross was watching everything all night tonight. He was watching their conversation. He was watching this take place. Told you guys have slept on Karrion Kross. And it's not his fault. I'm a Karrion Kross guy through and through, through and through. I think that he is so underrated when you talk about a guy who can cut a promo. We talk about a guy who can be entertaining, who can paint you a picture, who can be dominating. I mean, come on, man. The video promo that he dropped on his Twitter today should have aired today on Raw. I don't know if it did. I might have missed it. Sometimes my brain goes in and out. But he posted it on Twitter. Go on his social medias after the Nightcap. Go check this video out. He touches on everything. He talks about the dominance that he had in NXT Black and Gold. He talks about coming to the main roster and being disrespected and losing in his main roster debut to, Jeff Hardy. He doesn't name Jeff Hardy, but that's who it was against. They show it. Then he talks about just 4 weeks later getting told that your services are not needed. Talks about the release that he suffered due to the poor creative decisions by a certain McMahon who shall not be named, Vince, who ruined what we had from Cross and NXT to what was set for the main roster for us. Then he goes into to discuss now that he's back and that he is someone that they fear, the legends, because he's here to take their place, ladies and gentlemen. This absolute 10 out of 10. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore tonight, folks. 10 out of 10. Woods, man, you heard me say it earlier, too. He cost Kofi Kingston this match against Chad Gable tonight, later on in the show. He tried to help Kofi. Kofi went for trouble in paradise off the ring return, the rope return from Chad, but Woods grabbed the leg of Chad, tripping him, and then inadvertently costing Kofi this match. And Kofi was fuming after the match, and then we saw them backstage later on airing out their grievances. So it is so good to talk about. Let me take a step back. It is so good to see the New Day with an added depth when it comes to the story. It's not just the power of positivity. We're going to beat the tag teams. We're going to get a title opportunity. And then we're going to either A, lose the title match and still be super positive and fun loving, or B, win the titles, hold the titles for X amount of time, and then drop titles. Like, that was the formula for years. And you all know that is true because you've watched the product. And if you weren't watching the product, there's your recap over the last couple of years. The New Day are one of my favorite tag teams ever in the history of tag team wrestling in all of WWE. But there was nothing more than we're positive. We're the tag team. You know what I mean? That's all we were getting. Now we're getting an actual story. We're getting layers added to the character work for Woods and Kofi. We're getting to a point where you've got two guys who have been tag teaming for almost 10 years now together. Their anniversary's right around the corner. They keep mentioning it. Don't be surprised that they finally break up on their 10-year anniversary if it's on Raw. It's insane that it took this long for them to kind of flush something out and have a storyline and inner turmoil within the New Day. And it all started thanks to Karrion Kross, of all people, who also started the Miz heel turn back to his old self. So great stuff tonight. Kross has got his hands in a lot of different cookie jars. Derek loves the new Intercontinental Championship. It's a modern take on a classic title, 100%. Definitely. Rick wants the face dog versus the ring general like ASAP. You mean the Golden Goose, Gunther? Because that's what his dad Forget it. We'll get there. Raw, my rating will be an 8.2. Oh, Logan. I like it. An 8.2. Last week, you heard me guys say I felt that Raw and SmackDown felt a little fillery because, they were like, we got a week before the last shows for Bad Blood. We'll hold back a little bit. We'll give them something to talk about next week with the week of the pay-per-view. And they did. They really did. Tonight's Raw. Logan, you know what, Logan? 8.2 is a really good number. I do like that number. I'm gonna give it, because you gotta have a decimal score, Don't want to give a rookie rating. So I do like the 8.2. But you got an 8.2. You know what? I'm gonna give Raw an 8.1. I'm gonna give it an 8.1. I know that seems like I'm undercutting a little bit. I'm like Price is writing it, but I think an 8.1 is a solid. It wasn't just an 8. It deserves a little there's a little something extra on the side, like a little side of French fries with a burger. It hits a little bit different. You need a little decimal point action. It wasn't just an 8, it was an 8.1. It was an 8.2. We might have had an 8.4 earthquake in the main event tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. Lyra Valkyria loses to Zoe Stark. Kaden Carter, Katana Chance return to help even up the odds against the Pure Fusion Collective, formerly known as all of us and Mishin as the Stud Line. They're heating up the tag division, folks. They're heating up the tag division. They're getting some new competitors in there. Wouldn't be surprised, like I said earlier in the show with Logan, wouldn't be surprised to see PFC there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kaden and Katana in there. Alba and Isla back in there. Damage Control back in there. There's 4 tag teams. There's 4 new challengers. Well, 3 new challengers for Jade and Bianca. Obviously, Isla and Alba, they got that little beef going on. So, they'll figure it out eventually. Not too much on the women's side tonight on the final, the 3 hours of Raw. We did get, a couple women's segments, the Damage Control promo, obviously everything with Rhea and Liv, which we're getting to in 2 moments. The other, and then, Zoe and Lyra. So next week, folks, Raw's back to 2 hours. Little scary. I'm extremely happy because I'm a podcaster and I'm over here working late for all of you, especially you guys. You guys are on the East Coast. Right now it's 11:24 Eastern Standard Time. Next week when Raw is over, it will be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You will have an hour before you got to start kind of settling into bed and wake up for work. And same here. That is that extra hour until January or whatever the case may be. Because I know Netflix, Raw, probably go back to 3 hours. SmackDown on USA, we know is going to 3 hours in January. So it's like, a little Thanos exchange, a little soul for a soul here. We lose an hour of Raw. We pick up an hour of SmackDown in the new year. And then we pick up the other hour of Raw back on Netflix in the new year. So you're going to have 6 hours between Raw and SmackDown, plus 2 hours for NXT Weekly on the CW, which is tomorrow night. And if you guys are big NXT fans like I am, then tomorrow's CW debut is basically a baby premium live event. And I had to call up. I had to call up some favors, and I had to call up some favorites for guest host for the Nightcap. So you're going to get Black Masses and Constellations on the show tomorrow night. And you're going to get Championship Culture, the Belt Collector, and Hugh. Brandon and Hugh will be joining the show tomorrow for the NXT Nightcap with Torn and Tortellini for a massive, massive celebration of NXT on the CW. Logan said the CW is TV 14. Yeah, it is, sir. So things are about to get crazy. If you guys remember the NXT 2.0 So Horny days, I wouldn't be surprised to see if NXT gets a little edgier. Maybe gets a little bit of an extra backbone. Maybe we just start calling everybody a bitch. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow on the CW. So I got to even make sure I've got the CW, or tomorrow's going to be one hell of an awkward show if I can't even watch the show to begin with. And then I got to host the show, and everyone, we're going to have a whole party. So put it on your calendars tomorrow after NXT airs. If there's an overrun, assume 10 to 15 minutes after the overrun. We'll be live on Boom Broadcasting and my Twitter at MOWM_podcast for the NXT on CW debut Nightcap. And it's going to be a party, ladies and gentlemen. You got Championship Culture. You got not 4 sides. You got Black Masses and Constellations. You got 4 sides of the ring with 3 count trivia coming down the pipeline too. So make sure you tune in and check everything out. We got the final face-off. The final face-off between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I wish the Prez was here tonight. I really wish. Because the Prez would be talking all sorts of crazy stuff. He'd be like, Drew McIntyre is going to destroy CM Punk in Hell in a Cell Saturday at Bad Blood. The Prez isn't here. So I'm here to tell you CM Punk's winning this Saturday at Hell in a Cell. But I loved every second of this. Punk's wearing all white. I immediately am like, oh, he's going to be leaking bodily fluids tonight. Blood, whatever other fluids are in there. Drew's gonna wring them out like a wet towel. That is not the case. No blood. Drew's wearing all black, a black tux to be specific. And he tells us he's wearing that black tux basically in mourning because that his wife will not have a husband after what happened Saturday. This man, Drew, is an absolute menace. CM Punk said that Drew McIntyre is not going to be praying to God or the devil or anything. He's going to be praying to CM Punk on his knees inside Hell in a Cell. This feud has been so damn good. Like, I have zero complaints. I have nothing to say. All I have to say is please don't die. And my God, the amount of hate that two guys have been able to exhibit in a scripted wrestling television program is incredible. I sometimes sit down here and I watch their segments and I go, these guys fucking hate each other. Like, really hate each other. Like, they don't look, they don't talk backstage. Like, they hate each other. And then I'm like, no, Mike, that's dumb. They're probably very good friends backstage, or at least, well enough friends to get this segment along. But that is how good they are conveying this feud. For months before WrestleMania, this has been going on in some capacity. We're finally getting the payoff. Shout out to CM Punk. He worked me months ago at Clash at the Castle press conference. He's like, what are you guys, crazy? I can't do Hell in a Cell. Well, you're a liar. You're a damn good liar. You worked me, brother. You worked me right where you wanted me to be worked. So shout out to him. At this point, it's like, look, they could talk, they could do everything, but Saturday, it's over. They are going to beat the shit out of each other. I expect blood. I expect carnage. I don't expect any needles or cinder blocks or staple guns. I expect to see chairs and tacks and tables and maybe somebody going through the side of the cage and maybe a set of handcuffs. Definitely going to get a little kinky in that Hell in a Cell match for sure with these two. But man, the contrast of the outfits, all black for Drew, all white for Punk, the words between the two, even Punk saying, look, the last 4 weeks, I lived in a hotel because I don't want my wife to see the man that you have made me become, the same man that all of these, journalists and these professionals say that I am. I'm some evil person, the same man. You've turned me into the man that these people said I was, and I was never, but you've turned me into it. And I think this is what you need in Hell in a Cell is this CM Punk. So, man, let these two just go at it. I know there's a lot of rumbling on the old timeline about main event spots. Which match should main event? Should the tag match main event? Should the Hell in a Cell main event? I'm going to tell you guys right now. There's one X factor in this for me and from the fantasy booking standpoint. You've heard me say for months that I believe that Bad Blood, there's a double coded meaning there. Half of it is the history of Bad Blood and the Hell in a Cell, that being the first pay-per-view for the Hell in a Cell match. I also think the other side of that is because Bad Blood, bloodline. I think some major development comes out of the bloodline story Saturday at Bad Blood. I'll talk a little bit more about it on my predictions that are going to drop this week for Bad Blood on my YouTube. But I think depends on if something crazy happens with Cody and Roman. If there's a Rock return, if there's a Jimmy Uso return, if there's maybe not the Jimmy Uso return, if The Rock returns, that's main eventing. If there's no crazy Rock return, that kicks off the show. Hell in a Cell main events. You have to main event with Hell in a Cell. I mean, you'd be foolish not to. This match deserves a main event. This is one of the best feuds you got in WWE right now. And there's not a lot of feuds that have a lot of hate that we've got in WWE like this. So I'm gonna let them cook. You heard me say R-Truth is back, and so is Heel Miz. Awesome Truth. Karrion Kross is literally standing in their corner, yelling at the Miz. Miz is trying to like shoo him away. And then Kross finally gets in his head. Miz snaps, makes a tag, kicks R-Truth in the head, and walks away. R-Truth gets pinned by AOP. So now we're going to start the Miz going back to a heel, feuding with R-Truth. Then the Miz will probably get projected back into the mid-card title picture, the Intercontinental Championship title picture. Easily, no doubt about it. You can put that on your calendars in a couple months. Jey Uso versus The Miz on a Raw for the IC title, loading very soon. That's my prediction. That's all I got on this. The sad news, though, coming out of WWE, is that Ilya Dragunov is going to be out for 9 months with a torn ACL. Ooh, this one hurts, folks. This one stings. Ilya Dragunov, too damn good. Guy has intensity to a level that you don't think is possible. Started to get back on Raw the last couple weeks, and it looked like he was going to be kind of mixing it up with the Judgment Day. Ixnay those plans, ladies and gentlemen. ACL tear. They said 6 to 9 months. I'm just going to put 9 months. I'm going to go with the longer there. So if he's gone for shorter, and I'm assuming he's gone for 9, if he comes back in 6, I'll be pleasantly happy, right? I'll be surprised. Like, oh, Ilya's back. Yay, no 9 months. But ACLs, man, that's a brutal game. We know how the ACL game works in professional wrestling. That's an at least a 9 to 12 monther. If you don't have, if it's just an ACL, it's a clean tear, man, maybe 9, 10 months. You're lucky. I'm no doctor, but from my research into it, if you got like, you're talking MCL and PCL and ACL, yeah, you're talking like 12 months easily here. So speedy recovery to Ilya Dragunov, the Mad Dragon. I absolutely hate saying anytime when there is an injury. I hate talking about injuries in professional wrestling. They are the absolute worst. And it just is such an unfortunate timing for the guy. But I'm sure when he comes back, he'll be back better than ever and stronger than ever. And maybe Triple H will give him a little push for the return. We got the Judgment Day versus the LWO. The Judgment Day win. Finn Balor shows up, distracts the LWO. Then we get the whole Judgment Day segment here, hyping up the matches for this weekend. You've got Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You've got Rhea and Liv for the world title with Dirty Dom locked in a shark cage. Can we take a moment here? They got this man Dirty Dom on toilet paper. Anybody? Any words of encouragement here tonight, folks? Anybody got anything about this? You can now purchase for $13, $12.99 on WWE Shop. You can use my WWE Shop affiliate link and help support Mouthing Off with Mike and Boom Broadcasting if you want to. But for $12.99, you can purchase Dirty Dom toilet paper with his face on it. I kid you not. I really should say, I shit you not. But I mean, technically, you're going to be using that to wipe it. So, yeah. Dirty Dom toilet paper. Do I buy it? Chat? Do I buy it? I mean, there's a bunch of you in here. I know Logan's still here. Logan, do I buy the Dirty Dom toilet paper? What do you think? You guys get back to me. Let me know. Logan did say he's not surprised by Ricky Stark showing up on NXT CW, but I'm surprised Daniel Garcia showing up. I don't know if either of those guys are showing up. I have yet to see any sort of contract discussion about them, but I don't think I would like to see Ricky and Danhausen show up in Chicago. I mean, they're good CM Punk friends, and it's a perfect kind of place to have them show up. I don't think Ricky or Daniel Garcia show up. I think there's more to be. There's more than meets the eye with those contracts in AEW right now. Back to Rhea, Liv. Everybody fights. This is a classic. We're going to sell the matches before the pay-per-view. You got 2 of them. Priest shows up behind the backs of the Judgment Day. He fights off everybody until the numbers game is too much, and Finn wipes him out. Rhea's going to lock Dom in the shark cage, but Liv stops her. Apparently, Dom is extremely claustrophobic. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with being locked in a cage. It's not like Santa Claus is there. I don't understand why he's so worried. He's like claustrophobic. Like, it's not like Rhea pulled up a picture of Santa Claus. That's a very deep cut for some of you. For some of you who get that, and if you know, you know, we can be friends. I'm just saying. Dirty Dom, scared of Santa Claus. Should be some fun matches. If Rhea beats Liv, then effectively you don't really have much to go for. So I think Liv retains Saturday at Bad Blood. The ring general is here. So is Sami Zayn. The ring general tells Sami that yes, he is scared of him. He's scared of his reputation because at WrestleMania he flew his father here, and at WrestleMania Gunther lost to Sami. And Gunther's dad said, "Why'd you fly me here? Son, why'd you fly me here to watch you lose?" Oh, damn, Pops. Damn. Papa Gunther? The Golden Goose Gunther? Self-proclaimed Golden Goose. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Vince was still here, he would have heard that promo. He would have chuckled at himself because the Golden Goose Gunther alliteration, he would have chuckled to himself backstage. Such good shit. His name's going to be the Golden Goose Gunther. You know I'm right. You also know that if Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, and Braun Breaker all are on the same roster, one or three of those guys are getting name changes. One's going to lose their last name, one's going to get shortened, and one's just going to end up getting called The Big. You know that these are all true statements. So thankfully for Triple H and he doesn't change names too often, except the whole Berto Garza thing, Angel Berto thing, which I don't understand why we had to do that. Can't say Humberto Carrero. Like, maybe I can't say it, but, you know, you didn't need to cut the guy's name to Berto. What the hell is that about? Anyway, Sami calls Gunther a coward. He says, then your father is going to see that his son's a coward. And Gunther finally snaps, dude. Clotheslines and beats the shit out of him and says, you got your title match next week on Raw. Did not make Bad Blood. Triple H said, haha, guys. 5 matches is all you get. Joke's on you. You thought I was going to add a 6th match? Not a chance. 5. We should be used to it. That's it. That's the AAA recipe. It was like that in NXT when he was booking it. It's like that on the main roster. 5 matches, 5 quality timed matches, and then, 2.5 hours worth of commercials on the cock. I have the ad-free cock, and I still get just as many commercials. It's a little annoying. Would I have been cool with 6? Absolutely, I would have been cool with 6 matches, and this was a match that I think deserved to be on Bad Blood, but kind of with the build and everything, I guess you could say, you know what? Slap it on next week's Raw. You're 2 hours. You got to hype up that show because everyone's going to be like, great, now I can watch Raw. It's only 2 hours. So you're going to probably see a slight boost next week, even with Monday Night Football. Tonight, I don't do the whole ratings Discord. You guys can go find another podcast to talk about graphs. I ain't talking about graphs. I want to talk about graphs. Sami should beat the ring general down the line for the world title. I think it's the perfect story just to have him as his kryptonite. Superman has kryptonite. Gunther has Sami Zayn. Like, that's how it should be. Sami should beat him for the world title down the line. And that should be like the man, why can't Gunther beat Sami? Sami's got his number. But Rick 8-Bit did talk about seeing the dog, Braun Breaker, face the ring general. And we hinted at that tonight. A little face-off. Braun kind of was like, yeah, just wanted to see it in person. And Gunther's like, well, we've got a badass over here. And, Breaker's just looking at the title like, I'll be seeing you soon. And Gunther's like, I'm sure of it. So you obviously had to turn Braun face because he's going to go for the world title down the line. And you're going to have Gunther as the biggest heel. And Gunther's going to be one of the biggest heels on Raw, in the WWE, in the very near year, I'd say. Very near future. This was exactly what you wanted. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, get the alarms. Sound them. Sound them. Sound the alarms, ladies and gentlemen. Sound them. We got big, meaty men bumping meat. There you go. Did it for the meme. Last monster standing. Braun Strowman, that big son of a bitch, going up against big Bronson Reed in this incredible Raw main event tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, You said it. You wanted it. You got it. The ring collapsed under the weight of these absolute meat brick houses tonight on Raw. The old turnbuckles popped. The old bodies dropped. We had security getting flopped on. I just rhymed 4 times in a row. I didn't even want to do it. Hey, we're getting silly tonight, folks, on the Nightcap. What an incredible main event, man. You got Bronson Reed gets chokeslammed through the announce table. 1, 2, 3. The announce table's broken down, so the ring crew's like, yeah, one less thing we got to break down tonight. Then they go into the stage, into the production area. Braun and Bronson go through the table over there. Not before Bronson Reed goes through a stack of chairs set up on the outside. Then they go through the barricade wall. Then they go through the second barricade wall where the fans were, or should I say the staged fans, to hit the one guy in the corner hitting the Peter Griffin. My knee. I please go back and watch the one when they go through the fan wall. There's the one fan on the left side of your screen. He's just like in a prone position, holding his knee, just going, and it's literally the Family Guy, Peter Griffin, the knee thing. Then you got security who are trying to like fix the wall so the fans don't like, rush the ring. And I'm like, dude, with these two guys in the ring, nobody's coming to the ring. Nobody's playing games with these guys. So then you got Braun Strowman who flies off the top rope through everybody. There's bodies lying everywhere. Bronson Reed hits 2 tsunamis. Braun Strowman is out, dude. 20 count. Ref's too worried about fixing the goddamn wall. You got 30 security guards. And the ref said, hold on a sec. Let me go fix this wall real quick while this match is going on that I'm a part of. But this wall's a lot more pressing. So complete eye off the prize here. Strowman. I'm weak. I'm making myself laugh thinking about why the ref is just over here playing foreman at the ringside with the wall. All right, guys, bring the wall up. I don't have a match going on behind me. Logan said the security team is going to be a future WWE star. Yeah, pick one of those guys out. One of them might be a world champion in 2033. ZWC said Braun and Gunther, that's what's best for business. You're telling me that's best for business. That's best for something. That's best for everybody, right? I think the first show Raw on Netflix is Overtime. I'm going to assume that it's 3 hours going on to Netflix. I'm assuming Netflix can tell WWE they can go as long as they want. I wouldn't be surprised if you get like a 15-minute overrun on a 3-hour show on the first episode of Raw on Netflix. Just depends on what the forecast and the field of WWE looks like at that point. Here's where they got me tonight. Jackie Redmond interviews Bronson Reed before the match and says, and here's the man who back in August took out Seth Rollins with a bunch of tsunamis. And then Bronson's like, and I'll take years off his life, not months off his life. I was like, all right, Bronson Reed, damn, son. I love Bronson Reed. So I was like, okay, seeds being planted. Seth Rollins return imminent. We saw him on Sunday Night Football last night in Baltimore when the Baltimore Ravens absolutely pounced on the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry, Bills fans. That was a tough watch for you guys. For me, who my Eagles got ass whooped in the afternoon games, I didn't care about football for the rest of the night. So I could watch that game with no lens. I was happy. I had already lost in all my fantasy leagues or won in all my fantasy leagues. I'm in 6 different leagues. There's 3 that I won in this week, 3 I lost in this week. I'm just 500 across the board. Wow. Seth Rollins is back. That was the whole segue there. That was I'm on a tangent. Let me get back to where we're talking here. Seth Rollins is back. He curb stomps big Bronson Reed's big old head on them steel steps. And Braun Strowman beats the count of 10 to win the last monster standing match. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a new feud loading up for Seth Rollins. In the meantime, until Drew and Punk finish their business, we got Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed big old Bronson Reed, a match that was supposed to happen earlier this year. This feud was supposed to happen. We're supposed to get Seth and him, Elimination Chamber in Australia. Seth, the old knee ski. We know about the knee ski. The knee looks like it's back. We've seen Seth at football games the last 2 weeks. He got tossed over the barricade at the Colts-Bears game 2 weeks ago. And then last night, he was at the sideline for the Ravens-Bills game. So I had a feeling Seth was going to make a return back to WWE. I wasn't expecting to see him tonight. No entrance music, nothing, just Seth in a normal outfit, curb stomping a man and leaving and just standing there and watching. And that's it. I was totally taken off guard by that, which is great. Seth's back. Next week he's going to be on Raw, especially with, 2 hours. And I hope they fit the women in, man. I really hope the women don't end up losing like time or a segment, because that extra hour of Raw not only helps the women, but it also does help the men. You're going to get additional talent on TV. Like, let's be real here. If there's not that third hour of Raw tonight, Miz and Awesome Truth probably gets cut. They probably cut the 6-man tag match, and it just becomes a segment between the Judgment Day and Rhea and Priest. And you probably end up losing a few of those backstage video packages with Sheamus and the PFC. So, good Raw tonight. Good Raw before Bad Blood. Big highlights coming out of it. Punk and Drew is going to be incredible. Rhea and Liv should be very interesting. They've made Balor and Priest feel like an afterthought. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Gunther's got Sammy next week on Raw. Xavier Woods has an IC title match against Jey Uso next week. Who knows what Kofi's going to do? And Karrion Kross has a hand in a lot of different cookie jars. Oh, and yeah, Seth friggin' Rollins is back. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the It's Just Me Oos Nightcap with me, Mouthing Off with Mike. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me here on a Monday night, talking some wrestling, talking some Monday Night Raw. I did drop a new episode this past Sunday, so if you want to see what I'm talking about, on my show, it's a lot laid. It's a lot like the Nightcap. It's a lot laid back. I have fun. I talk a lot of random shit. I talked a little bit about the Vince McMahon documentary. I haven't finished it yet. I'm about to finish it tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. Vince McMahon documentary did not go the direction I thought it was going to go. They do cover most of the, most, if not all of the scandals that we are well aware of, including the newest one. There was one that I was shocked to learn about, which I'm not going to talk about right now because it's really gross. You also really come to learn that Vince McMahon is in fact Vince McMahon. Like the character and him, that's the same person. I've never met the man. I'll never meet the man. I have no plans to want to meet the man. I mean, good job on the wrestling business, but like he did some really bad stuff here. So it's kind of unforgiven at that point. So bye to him. But you really learn that Vince McMahon really does not know. Like he never, like, it's a weird thing. When you watch that, if you're a wrestling fan, you might be shocked to learn some things, or you might kind of confirm some things you've already known. But yeah, it was a different kind of, it wasn't the direction I thought it was going to go in. It was more, you learn a lot about the history, you learn about the intermixed scandals and the controversy, but like they don't really dive deep into it. And I thought that's the direction they were going to go, but it is what it is. I talked about Bad Blood, previewing a little bit of that. I'll have my predictions this week for you guys. And then I talked a little bit about the changes in the networks and everything kind of going on with wrestling, where NXT's going to CW, Raw's going to Netflix, but it's staying on USA for 2 hours till January. And then USA's got SmackDown, and that's going to 3 hours when this goes there, and they lose this, and the trade-offs and the ad revenues and the things like that. So good episode. I thought, different kind of conversation topic. Tomorrow, like I said, NXT Nightcap, the CW debut. I got championship culture. I got Black Masses and Constellations. It's going to be a party for NXT, and you already know with me. So thanks for watching the Nightcap tonight, folks. I'm out of here. Have a good night. Take care. Brush your hair. Thanks for watching the Nightcap, guys.